Welcome back to Squawk Box. Look at that handsome picture of a guy named Robert Frank, who knows a lot about money and how we spend it and how to save it maybe and all those things. But today he's going to tell us what the bill might look like come next April. The Senate passing President Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill. In today's edition of Inside Wealth, that man, the handsome one, Robert Frank, taking a look at what it means for the tax bill for high earners and investors. So is it better, worse, indifferent? What's going to happen here?
It's different and slightly better. It's really a mixed bag depending on how you earn your income and what your income is. So let's take a look. The top 20% of Americans are those who make over $220,000 a year. They get an average tax cut of about $12,000 a year. That's about 3.4%. Now, millionaire earners get an average cut of about $75,000. That's about 4.5%. So what are the most important provisions? Well, the SALT cap, as we all know, that goes from $10,000 to $40,000 for those making less than $500,000 a year. Now, the 20% deduction for pass-through income, that's very important. That will be extended. That's both the House and the Senate version. The estate tax becomes permanent and a lot more generous, with the exemption going up to $30 million for married filers. Now, there is a big new benefit in the Senate bill for wealthy investors that was not in the House bill. It's known as the qualified small business stock provision. It was actually started by the Clinton administration. The Senate is now expanding it. So basically, the change allows more companies to qualify in this program, and it increases the tax breaks to encourage small business investment. Now, one negative for high earners, so that's a limit on certain deductions that will make charitable giving a little less attractive. Now, some estimates say that could reduce giving by the wealthy by over $8 billion a year. Now, for the full breakdown of all the tax changes that matter most to high earners, you can check out the Inside Wealth newsletter at cnbc.com/insidewealth, cnbc.com/insidewealth. So all in all, for the wealthy, the big changes from the 2017 tax cuts are mostly on the bottom and more generous for the bottom. So it's tips, it's overtime, it's Social Security, it's that $6,000 credit for seniors. At the top, the only real change was this small business piece and the SALT piece, which, again, doesn't apply to many of them because the cutoff is $500,000 a year.
But you have heard about some accountants talking about recategorizing certain types of income. I don't know if, I think at the high end it would be almost impossible to recategorize income as a tip or as something else. Overtime. But how do you see this happening?
No, I don't. I think there was a fear of recategorization of income because of the tips and overtime. Again, more at the bottom of the distribution. Right. At the top, I don't think what really mattered for the top is permanence. So what are the rules of the road going to be, at least for the foreseeable future, given that, especially for the estate tax, we were looking at this possible cliff. So the wealthy were giving money away in record numbers to their kids because there was the potential of seeing that exemption drop by more than half. So now, it's permanent. It's $30 million. We know what the rules are. So
and how long will the 30 last?
Until the next big election changes, who's ever in the White House and Congress. I mean, they say it's permanent. Nothing is really permanent in D.C. But all in all, for the top, there isn't much change except for the fact that most of what they got in 2017 is extended, and there's that stability now, which is important, and that could increase confidence for wealthy investors and for spenders, for consumers. So that's good for the economy.
Robert Frank, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's nice to see you.